Hello to all my Nitpick YouTube channel followers, and in today's little video we are going to be discussing Rolex fake watches, something that's been around for 20 or so, 25, 30 years, and has becoming very, very popular, not just amongst the Rolex brand, but also many other luxury brands such as Patek Philippe and Omega, Cartier, Audemars Piguet, Hublot, Panerai. To start off, obviously, with Rolex being the most popular watch brand in the world, obviously it makes sense there are more fake Rolex watches being produced and being sold in every country in the world. Can you really tell the difference between a real Rolex and a fake Rolex? If you're wearing a real or fake Rolex from 10-15 yards away, nowadays it's nearly impossible to tell the difference between a real or fake Rolex within that sort of distance, even close up. The normal Joe Blogs on the street, not a watch expert, not a jeweler expert in any way, it'll be nearly impossible for them to tell a real or a fake Rolex, or real or a fake Cartier or AP or whatever. There are many years ago, 15-20 years ago, when you could go to Spain, Morocco, these hot countries really, where they can sell you the fake watches on the beaches. We've all been there, we've all done it, we've all bought one. I have, over the years, for sure. And often back then there were very, very easy ways to tell within half a second what between a real watch and a fake watch. Often it was the weight of the watch. The bracelet was often very, very weak and very flimsy compared to the much sturdier, heavier steel bracelets of 2021, 2020. The movements as well didn't sweep as smoothly as a real Rolex or a real Panerai or Hublot back in the day. But nowadays, fake watches can be bought online for £400-500 or more. The workmanship of these fake watches has dramatically improved with new machinery, new methods of making these watches, and it's now really nearly impossible, truthfully, to tell the difference between a real Rolex or a fake Rolex from the face of it. If you open up the back of the watch and look at the movement, yes, if you're a watch expert, then you can tell straight away really the differences between the watches. But when you're wearing it from 10 yards away, you see it in the streets, you see a friend wearing it, you see it on the train, wherever you are, around by a swimming pool, a holiday, it's going to be nearly impossible. A few little key ways of telling the difference between a fake Rolex or a real Rolex, not by opening up the back of it, but just by generally looking at it face on, are, for example, the grooves on the bezel are normally quite deeper and quite crisper on the original Rolex, on a real Rolex. The winder on the side of the watch is often, again, a lot more crisper and cleaner, the way it's been cut out on the grooves. In the very middle of the watch, in the dial, where the hands are, where the hands are placed, again, a lot more crisp. If you look with a magnifying glass, if you're able to, the hands of the dial are a lot more crisper and cleaner on a real Rolex than a fake Rolex. The bracelets as well. The bracelets nowadays, some fake websites and watches claim they use the same 904L steel as the real Rolexes. Can you really prove it? I don't believe you can. So again, all I can say to you is, next time that any of your friends, family, colleagues, clients, or if you see anyone wearing a Rolex on their wrist, the truth is, it could well be a fake. Would you want to embarrass yourself asking that person, is it a fake watch, is it a real one? Many people buy fake Rolexes purely because, unfortunately, for their circumstances, they just truly can't afford a real Rolex. And especially the way that sports models have been increasing in price over a number of years, if you know your Rolex watches, you know truthfully the prices are thousands above retail price. So that's why the fake watch industry has become so popular over recent years, because unfortunately people generally can't afford a real Rolex, a real AP, a real Patek Philippe. So the demand for fake watches has become everly more popular, and in many months and years to come, it will become much more fashionable maybe to have a fake watch on your wrist, or a collection of fake watches rather than real watches. Any more comments? Keep them coming on the videos. Like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. You know what to do. It's nice and easy. Speak to you soon.